Well, it's nice to be back in the hall in front of our fans, which were great today. Pleased with the outcome. A lot of really good things. We knew that Maine was going to test us defensively. I thought we handled ourselves, for the most part, really well. There's a lot of action that you have to be able to guard. Essentially, they play 5 guards. So that can be matchup issues when you have bigs the way we have in certainly Lily and Striplin. But I thought, for the most part, defensively, we did what we needed to do. I thought Chloe was fabulous today. As I said to her when we're on the way out, when she plays like that, we have a chance. I thought, Lily, looking at her, she's one away from a double-double, her line. And so, a lot of good things. It was a bounce-back win for us, after a tough one in the Bahamas, even though there were some really good things that happened in the Bahamas. The last game didn't set very well with us. So, we just wanted to come out and perform better, and I thought we did that today.
I asked Chloe this, and I wanted to get from a coach's perspective. I mean, in a matter of 10 days, you go from beating a ranked team to losing by 30 to having your best shooting performance. When you have those highs and lows
Sure.
so stacked together, what's the challenge from a coaching perspective that does that present?
Mike, I've been doing it a long time, and trust me, I've seen, I think, just about everything. And I just think the best recipe for us is to stay the course of what we're doing and making sure that, our kids continue to get in before and after. They're working on their shots. They're getting, shots up outside of required time, which is, been part of what we do around here, the lifestyle. And then you just keep plugging away and try to continue to give them the confidence that the next one's going to go in. Look, I don't think any of us walked into this thing at the beginning of the season thinking that our line to success was going to look like a straight line. I think we all kind of felt like we were going to be a little bit up and down, and I tried to prepare the kids for that because I really thought, and I think I've said it, when you're used to being able to play without a kid like Mackenzie Holmes, it's an adjustment for us, and it took us, and it's taken us some time to figure some of those things out. But this is a team that's very together. They want to compete. They want to win. They want to figure out how to win. They want to do right by our staff, fix the things that we get wrong, and as I've always said, as long as you have an interested group that wants to come in every day and fix, some of our shortcomings, you have a chance. And so we're just going to stay the course. What we're going to do, we haven't changed anything in terms of our preparation. It'll stay the same. But it's just continuing to pour into these guys, give them confidence, make sure they stay tight, they stay together. Because there's been some challenging moments, for sure.
So being engaged like that, as long as you sense that that's the same, you're okay. Like, you obviously want the same results, but
sure.
The team, you feel like that's the level. That's what you need to see.
Yeah, again, this is it's a veteran group. Right now we're playing without Sid Parrish, who's, very important to this basketball team. And so, look, we've had some, and again, I'm not making excuses. Every team in America, men's, women's, football, basketball, doesn't matter, has to go through injuries and what they think their roster might look like. And then you get to starting day, and then it completely looks different than what you thought it might in terms of your depth. And then you have, you lose a kid right now, short term, a kid like Sid, who's a leader, who's has a high IQ, who talks and communicates at a really high level. Those things have been, again, they've been challenging for us. But I've liked the way that Jules has responded to a new role, because as we always tell him, you never know. You never know. You always have to sit on the edge of your seat, because you just never know when your number's going to be called, and you got to be able to come in and help us. And so I'm really proud of how they've stuck together in spite of, some of the challenges that we've been through early in the season.
Terry, as it relates to Lily, obviously you were able to find her in the third quarter, got on a big roll.
Right.
What's the balance with her in terms of hunting her own shot versus her teammates hunting her? Where does that kind of fall?
I think it has to happen both. I mean, she's such has a different mindset, where Mac begged for the ball all the time. We got to get Lily to be, and she's not going to be Mackenzie, I'm not suggesting that, but we have to get her to beg for the ball a little bit more because she is efficient around the rim. And then our guards have to do a better job of playing with their eyes up. I thought we missed her a couple times inside. We had great ball movement, but it was just side to side, never peeked inside to see if Lily had an advantage. The one thing that Lily will have to continue to do, and it's kind of like what Mac, it was a challenge with Mac, is be able to stay in longer. Mac had the same issue with not being her stamina, and then she came back, between her sophomore and junior year, and her stamina was so much better. Right now, personally, I'd like to be able to keep Lily on the floor longer. It's just we have a hard time doing that. When she fatigues and she's tired, she's either going to foul or she's going to come up short on her shot. And so I think it's a balance of both. I think she has to be more assertive on the low block, asking for the ball. We got to do a better job on the outside of finding her.
Terry, you guys had struggled a lot shooting from three coming into today. So how was it from your perspective just to see those shots fall in this game?
Yeah, I mean, again, we've seen it so many times, the peaks and valleys of this game, and when we're hitting those shots, we have a real chance. And when we're not, as we got to see in the North Carolina game, it's going to be hard to manufacture points. Put them on the board. So, yeah, it was great to see him go in and as we always want them, the Yardens and the Shays and the Julianas and the Chloes. You just want them to have a short memory because they do spend the time that's required and needed, to be able to take those shots and for me as a coach to feel good about those shots. I don't feel good about kids that take a lot of those if they're not in the gym, getting extra shots up and doing extra and doing that. But for the longest time, I haven't had to worry about that here.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if there was an update on Lennay's recovery, and then also I noticed Caroline only played 3 minutes and she was wearing a back brace.
Yeah.
If there was anything nagging her today.
Strips she fell. This has been weeks ago, and she's just had a little bit of a nagging lower back issue. But that didn't keep her from playing today. This was not a good matchup for Strip. Like I said, you're essentially guarding 5 guards out there, and so. We try to do our best to set our kids up for success, and I didn't feel like we were doing that with Strip. She was going to have a really hard time guarding from the pinch post, all those guards that were going to attack her. Lennay is still, she's going to have a procedure done here in the next couple weeks, and so not quite sure her availability when that'll be, but we finally came to the decision that she will have a procedure done on her knee.
How would you grade the first half? Only a single-digit lead right there before you got it really going there after halftime.
I would give us probably a B- in the respects that I think we were playing hard. So I liked our effort. Again, really hard team to guard with all their actions that they run. They cut hard. And you kind of have to give yourself, you don't want 2 quarters to get used to their movement, but that first quarter is a lot about just getting used to the movement that you're going to have to guard for 40 minutes. And so I wasn't surprised that there were moments where either they got a wide open layup or we were nowhere to be found because they put a lot of pressure on you. They're challenging team to guard. But I liked our effort. I thought once we settled in, we did a much better job of guarding, and then I thought in the second half we did a much better job of scoring. which I thought helped us, guard a little bit better, gave us a little bit more energy.